my channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. Today I have a makeup tutorial. I feel like it's been a while since I actually did like a makeup tutorial, right? What was my last video? What was my last one? I don't think it was a makeup look. I'm not even sure at this point, but yeah, I felt like I had to do a yellow makeup look. I hope you guys like this also. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Alicia. I would love for you to subscribe down below. And do I have anything else I want to mention? And I'm also still on my old camera because my new one, I have not yet received it. I actually got confirmation today that it's on its way, thank goodness. So hopefully, again, I apologize if the quality is not that great and the audio because I can't use an external microphone on the camera that I have now, my older camera. So I am going to throw this into a voiceover, so I hope you guys don't mind. I just didn't want the audio to kind of be, you know, not the best quality. But I think that's all I want to say. And also, we hit 700 subscribers on here. Yay! I'm super excited. I remember when I hit the 500 and did the giveaway, and it's like 200 later. Like, I'm so excited. Let me stop babbling and let's just jump straight into it. Hey guys, so it's been a minute since I've done a voiceover, right? I feel like I forgot how to do this. So I'm gonna see if I can get this done in my first try, but I'm just priming my eyes with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, and I'm just gonna set it with my translucent powder. This is just usually my go-to instead of using an eye primer. Then I'm jumping into the Morphe James Charles palette and just taking that medium brown shade there. I'll have the colors listed below. I'm just swiping this in the crease area just as my transition shade, and I did tape the corners of my eye just for a crisp line. And then I'm going with that darker brown on the upper corner and just intensifying that crease. I feel like this brown didn't blend out as easily as the first shade, but I don't know, maybe it was just me, but I felt like I really had to work at it for some reason. It just like wasn't working. And I haven't used tape in so long, and I was like, you know what, let me try and do this because I wanted to do a wing. And I highly suggest just taping the corners of your eye. It definitely is very helpful, especially if you're beginners. And then I'm just cutting the crease. I'm not going to be super precise with this, but I do want to lay this down where I'm going to put the yellow, which is going to be across my entire lid. Then I'm going in with that beautiful yellow shade in the palette and packing that on the lid. And I'm getting as close as I can to the crease, but I'll show you in a minute here. I do go in with a smaller brush to really get right here. Yeah, right here. I was really getting in there. Getting in there to try and blend it with the transition shade so it's a little bit more softer and not so harsh. But like literally, it's 3 colors, like 3 shades on the eye. It's super easy, and I do want to try this with a different shade instead of the yellow. I'm thinking like orange or something, but I don't know. We'll see. And this is the most satisfying part, is ripping the tape off. It's just like so crisp and just less you have to, I feel like, fix in the end. Then I'm taking my Physician's Formula Eye Booster pen, and I'm going to do a wing. And this wing, I wanted to keep it pretty thin, but very long to elongate my eyes for the types of lashes that I planned on using. Like, look how pretty that is. And then I'm going in, you guys know I love my Sumptuous Beauty lashes. These are in the style Milani, so I'm just coating those with the glue and letting them sit, and then we'll pop those on later. And to coat my cashes, yeah. To coat my lashes, I'm going in with the Better Than Sex mascara, and then working on the skin, I'm using my e.l.f. poreless putty primer. I can never say that on the first try. And I've been liking this. I just keep going like back and forth between this and my Maybelline Baby Smooth, but I like it so far. And then for foundation, I'm mixing in my NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop and a little bit of that Loreal Pro Glo. And I've been liking that concoction because I have the coverage of the NYX, but the glowy dewiness of the Pro Glo. So I've been mixing those, but before I do, I almost forgot to put my lashes on before the glue dried. I always do that, and I was like, not today. Not today. So then I'm going to pick up where I left off and finish up this foundation. And like, look how big of a difference. Like, I just have so much discoloration or redness. I feel like when I put foundation on, it's like such a game changer, like just so much, and I love it. For concealer, I'm using the Jouer High Essential Coverage Foundation, or yeah, concealer, and then I go over it with my LA Girl in the shade Natural. I just feel like these two together, like the perfect concoction for under my eyes. And then once I blend it out, I just wanted to show you there I'm going back in with my Maybelline Fit Me powder. I've been using that to set my under eyes. I've used it before, but I've just gotten away from it, but I'm bringing it back. And you'll see here, like, just look at the difference it makes. I think that the Jouer is in the shade Wheat, and then I have the LA Girl in the shade Natural. But like I said, I'll try to have everything listed below for you guys. I always just try to bring it on the sides of my nose also. I don't do any harsh like nose contouring, but I like to at least try to make it look a little slimmer just because it's a little bit on the large side, so I do what I can. Then I just take whatever's left on the sponge and go in my T-zone. And then here is where I go in with the Maybelline powder. And this just makes such a huge difference too. I'm not really baking. I'm kind of pushing it in there to set the concealer. And I like this because I feel like this powder in particular just adds a little bit more coverage for under the eyes, which I need big time. Then I'm going back in with that light brown shade and buffing that under the eye. I'm pretty much going to mimic the what I did on the top on the bottom, just not using the yellow. So I'm taking the light brown, I'm buffing that on my lower lash line, then going in with that darker shade and smudging this more so in the lash line and not really dragging it down as low as I did for that first shade. Then I'm just taking an e.l.f. brush and just brushing away any fallout that I have, along with the loose powder, any excess that we have. Then for brows, I just use my ABH Brow Wiz and my Wet n Wild Brow Kit. And I just did those off camera because it really hasn't changed. Then I'm going in with my Maybelline bronzer. And I forget what shade this one is. I'm not even sure what I think. I'm going to list it down below. But I've been using the Becca one, and then I went back to this one. I also like the one from Milani. So I just kind of pick up, whatever I'm feeling that day. But I wanted to go with this one because it's been a while since I used it, and I do really, really enjoy this bronzer. Makes such a big difference. Then I'm going in with my Milani blush. This is just such a pretty pinky shade. It's not too pink, and it's not too intense. I just feel like it's the perfect flush color, if that makes sense. So I'm just putting that on my cheeks for a little blush, add some color. Then I'm going with this LA Girl. This is an eyeliner, and I have to get so close to my mirror so I don't show it, but it's just on my waterline. And it's a brown shade and not a black. Then I'm just going to set everything I did with my Milani Make It Last. You guys know I love this. It's probably my third bottle, and it's just so good. And before that sets down, I like to go in and highlight with my sponge and my Maybelline Chrome Master highlight. Look at it there when you use the sponge. It's so intense. That's why I take a little bit off of my hand before I go in and apply it. But I like this one, and this one is in the shade Molten Gold. I've really been stuck on this highlight for quite some time now. I feel like I need to find a new one. I used the rose gold one before this, but now I'm stuck on this molten gold. So they're both really good. I just feel like I need to get something new because I've been using this all the time. Then for lower lash mascara, I'm going with my Rimmel Lash Accelerator for my lower. You guys know I like this, and I like the Wet n Wild Mega Length mascara as well. Then to line my lips, I'm going with an LA Girl. I think this is Sugar and Spice, I believe. And this is my first or second time using their lip liners. And oh my god, they're right up there with the Milani ones that I like. Super creamy, as you can see here. And they just glide on so easily. So yeah, and I really like that shade too. Then I'm going in with the Maybelline Superstay, the ink. I forget which shade this is, but I like this also for a nude shade because it's not super nude. It still has a little bit of a rosy undertone, which I like in my nudes. And like in my nudes. Yeah, that came. Yeah, Alicia. And then just to top it off, I'm just going over it with a NYX Butter Gloss, and I feel like this is the perfect nude lip for me right now with my complexion. And it's like, yeah, it's all I've been doing like for the office too. It's just like the perfect nude. But guys, this is it. This is the final look. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know and give me a thumbs up if you guys did enjoy it. Leave any comments down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!